just gonna make sure this is working. Oh, all right, we're just gonna go. It's just gonna happen. And I guess my audio is just gonna be scuffed the entire time. I'm just gonna check it one more time and then I'm gonna just deal with it, I guess. I don't know. Let me just, audio is scuffed, I think. Alright, now I can actually hear it, so maybe we're fine. Hold, please. I have no idea if my audio is gonna survive. But I'm gonna assume that we're fine. I'm just gonna play the stream on my phone with muted audio so I can read chat. And then we're gonna have this in the corner made small. Just gonna actually get rid of this quick. Because I think as long as I don't check my audio, the audio is fine. Audio is scuffed. Maybe. Just scoot it over there, and then we're good. Alright. Just gonna leave that audio message as the top layer. Alright, now we can actually draw. Wow, the drawing stream has started. If you hear a lot of shuffling, that's just inherently, you're probably gonna hear a lot of tapping, you know? But we're gonna make this work. We're gonna draw some creatures. Gonna draw some Pokemon from memory real quick. Until I get some sort of request for something wild, and then I'm just gonna do that. I don't think that Oddish is very oval shaped, but it's got little feet. It's very like circular, and it's got feet. Little like that, I think, and then it's got like It's Oddish. There we go. Just gonna scoot Oddish over here. I don't really know what I'm gonna draw yet, officially. But we're just gonna do stuff until I come up with an actual plan. I've been trying to sort of ditch the idea that all of my work has to be like this crisp, great stuff all the time. So English. I've been trying to mess around with stuff more as like a fun thing instead of this like, oh, it has to be professional level art, you know. I don't know if you can hear me, because I think the audio is just like deciding on its own whether or not to work. But hello. It's just like how does one draw antlers? It's like such an awkward shape. That's so uneven. Oh my god, that's so uneven. Ew. Gross. Get that out of here. I don't even know what I'm drawing. I'm just kind of going for it, you know? Just kind of doing whatever feels right. Give me those big anime eyes. I don't know who this is, but they're cool. And that's what matters this Christmas season. Got little, like, fawn spots, you know? Little smile. Alright, all of this is still kind of garbage because I haven't been using any references. Like, they're fine, but I do want to actually draw something proper. So what I'm gonna do is put all of this together. Hang on. We're moving stuff around. Alright, that's well and good enough. Put that together. Scoot that over. Make it smaller. Should probably technically make the canvas bigger, but just whatever. Oh wait, I should just do that and then boop. We'll just put that in the corner, actually. We'll just hide that entirely. So I think what I'm gonna do is hop onto Pinterest. Where are you? There we go. Give me some moody references. I've been collecting references for a hot second. A mix of things that I've been like, I want to do this, but with, like, OCs and, like, fan characters and whatever. So, we're gonna see here. What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? Let's see. Do I want something dramatic? The answer is yes, but what type of dramatic? I love how I have the same image saved twice by accident in the left there. Man, I'm like so indecisive right now, it's ridiculous. The indecision, the paralysis of indecision right now, it's terrible. I'm leaning towards this one a little bit though. So let's nab it, and then I'll nab let's nab this as well. Oops. Just in case. Just in case I get other ideas. Alright, get in there. Ah, beautiful. Alright, now I think with the intention with this is gonna be practicing with that whack lighting. Cause like you're gonna tell me that whatever sort of sin and the rest is blue with a hint of red back there. Where's that coming from? What's going on? Gotta get used to not using localized color, as they called it in college. It basically means not being like, ah yes, go from like one color, right? So you have like this orange color, yeah? Not going from like, ooh, here's this orange, to, okay, I want to make it darker. Not just doing that, but instead of doing that, being like, let's make it pink. That's your shading now. And then, okay, for the highlights, instead of just going, oh, I've got this nice orange. No, make it like green or something. You know? Variety. Even with this, there's a lot of green going on. But technically, if you look at it, right, this is more like a yellow. This could be more like a yellow. And then you've got green jumping straight into like blue here. Like even these darker greens, like this jacket, instead of being like this green, could be like teal. Which I know it doesn't look like it's going to make a lot of a difference, but trust me. When we get to that step, it's going to be wild. And I do kind of want to go for a similar pose. What in the world did I do here? This is disgusting. Get it out of here. Ew. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go for a similar sort of pose, but I am going to make it a different context, because this context is obviously like, dude is performing or whatever, because you got a microphone down here. But I think instead of that, I'm going to go for more of a... This is very, like, fighter pose to me. So I think I'm going to go for more of, like, a lunging forward with a sword sort of deal. Or, like, a preparing to defend type motion. Where it's like, here's the hand, here's the other hand. Right? And you got grippy. Yeah. Right? Actually, it's a sword. Whoa! We'll have one leg going this way, this leg kind of pointed forward like so. Rib cage. Pelvis. Chest area. Shoulder. And then, I'm gonna take all this. We need more room. We gotta put our guy in a space. So here, this leg's kind of back more. This foot is placed forward, planted into the ground. That's where the weight is shifted. Here. And then this is more out. Like that. And now, to make this fun, or funky, whoops, I forgot I had it on automatic selection there. We're gonna take the face, just go, I like having larger faces and like heads on characters, just to give more emphasis to the face. And then flesh out this arm a little. Same here. Boom! That's a whole dude. Now I'm just gonna make a couple adjustments to ease up on this hand here, because that's a bit of a tangent. I'm just gonna swing that out a little more. Actually gonna shorten this up a little bit. Put it back further. Maybe just a little. I don't like where that's placed. Like, anatomically, I know that this is correct, sort of. It's just an awkward angle. I think it's because this foot is a little too far over. So I'm just gonna readjust here. Because I think the front of this leg would be more facing. Maybe this heel is actually raised a little bit. So you've got like a very ready to lunge. Yeah, even that I'm not so sure about. Feet are difficult to draw. And this is why. Because I'm not even exactly sure which direction this would be facing. I think this is the answer I'm looking for. Because this leg would be so far this way. I actually might need to exaggerate more. Hold on. Alright, so this isn't perfect, but it'll have to do. I'm like, maybe... Because, like, putting it all the way out like that just doesn't seem right. I think I know what the problem is. It's actually this foot. Because the front of this leg is actually right here. So this foot would be more facing the viewer. Giving this one that room to twist that other way without it being awkward. Yes. I think that's more of like the aim of what I'm trying to do. It's also awkward because I know that this leg is actually further back than this one is. But I think right now they're a little too even. So to fix that, there we go. That might be a little bit better. Might have to angle this back more so that it looks like it's tilted. I don't know. This is also like a weird pose in, because that's the only thing about the actual reference, is that it's cut off like right at the thighs. Oops. It's cut off right at the thigh, so you don't really see, like, I can't tell right, if both legs are like this and it's sort of like a squat situation, or if it's one leg that way, one leg that way, given that it's a wider stance. But now that I'm looking at it a little closer, if the leg was going this way, you'd probably see it somewhere right about here, but you don't, meaning this person's hips are actually at an angle. So the legs are like that. Anatomy. You know? But it's okay. We're changing it up on purpose. So now we're going to take this upscale a little bit, scoot you over, maybe turn you a little bit. There you go. Just a little turnage. I feel like this leg would actually come out a little more. Yet another instance of me probably adjusting things slightly too early, but you know what? It's fine. So don't connect like this, and then that way that knee is actually bent a little. Because you shouldn't lock your knee. Yeah, I think that made this sketch look a little better. Okay, now that we're here, I'm gonna just go over and shape this out a little more before I get to the next step. Because, fun fact, human faces are also weird. Take this out a little. I haven't done anything this anatomically precise in a while. And even then, it's not that precise. It's exaggerated on purpose, so like, oops. Oh, and something I just noticed that's a little awkward here is that this wrist is a little odd looking, so I'm just gonna adjust that. Okay. Get that off my screen. It's a little distracting now. Okay. So, now that we have this dude, this structured body, it's time for details. Now, what sorts of details am I going to add is the real question. I don't really know. I'm always really terrible at deciding what sorts of outfits to put characters in. Fine. Like, because realistically, if you're fighting with a sword, you don't want to have, like, stuff you could trip over as part of your wardrobe. Like, you want to be able to run and leap and crouch and bend and all that sort of stuff, so you don't want anything that's going to hinder your movements too much. I mean, it's not quite the same as, like, being a boxer or something. Like, that's different movement, different fighting method and style and all that, but yeah, that's just one of those things where, like, even when I try and research it, it's like, okay, but I'm also throwing this into, like, a fantasy setting, so how do I manage that? Even in this case, I'm like, I don't even know who this character is, really, yet. I just like making whatever. I started the stream by saying I wasn't going to take this seriously, and here I am, taking it seriously. I also probably should have made this canvas larger. But it's alright. Literally at the start of my stream, me going, I'm not going to take this seriously because I'm trying to get away from overanalyzing my work, proceeds to overanalyze my work immediately after speaking those words. And also, I proceed to draw just, like, hot elf men for the 18th time. That's just been a thing I've been doing since high school, alright? I can't resist drawing the hot fantasy men. Especially, like, magic users. I love magic in fantasy. So it's just like, man, give me more. Give me more crazy magic. Give me more, like, elves and wizards and that. I don't like that. Never mind. Don't like the facial hair. Not on this guy. I want it to be clear that, like, this guy could probably also stand his ground physically. Like, in a fight, if he had to. But he's not, like... He's not, like, ripped, you know? Like, he's got tone. He's got muscle. But it's not, like, big, beefy, like, bards, you know? Like, he's not gonna be, like... Or not bards, barbarians, that's what I'm thinking of in terms of, like, D&D, you know? Like, this guy could fight, but he's not gonna be, like, the dude taking on every single bad guy with his strength by itself. Hence the sword, and hence the probably magic. So I think we're gonna give this dude maybe like a high-waisted belt, right? thinner than that, I think. Yeah, high-waisted belt, sort of loose shirt thing. That's another thing. I don't know how to draw that, like, loose, tucked-in shirt look. I think it's, like, the coolest thing ever that people do. Like, the high-waisted stuff that's just, like, tucked into the belt or pants or whatever. But I suck at drawing it so bad. Like, even with these, I'm gonna draw, like, the cuffs that are rolled up, like the sleeve cuffs that you get, like, rolled up. Like, that doesn't feel right. Probably because it isn't, but... Oh, wait, I forgot. This is facing that way, actually. Super curved. So you would actually see the other end of the... Oh my god. You would see the other end of the cuff. And then this would be a lot looser around here. So probably come down like that. This would come across and loosen up around the end. Sort of a little divot there, maybe, if it makes it feel too tight. Like that. There we go. And then for the pants, we're gonna have like a guard, like a but I don't know like the technical term for it, because it would like come across like this. And then you would have like the pants here, boot, come around like this, baggier pants, but not super baggy because we already have the super baggy shirt. Like obviously there'd be a couple wrinkles at the bend there, but nothing crazy. And then the boot would come out. Fun fact, I can't draw shoes to save my life. Like, they just look like bread. I don't know how to draw shoes. It just looked like loaves of bread. I don't know how to make that look better than it is. That. I don't think I'm going to go much crazier than this. Also, I kind of hate this thing I was going for, so I'm going to change it. So that we have more of a, got this, and then this going on, and then it's like some sort of, it's like a guarding thing around the waist, I don't know. It's also still flexible. It's not like totally armor, but it's also not nothing. Then hand with the sword. Now, as far as what type of sword this is, I don't really know. I'm just drawing whatever pops into my silly head. So, consider it just a random sword. And here's our guy. Here's our dude. Who I'm gonna lower that as far down as possible. Then we're gonna lower this a little. And this is the point where I would get into details and junk. But I'm not gonna do that. This is where I would like lower this and then outline it proper, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this because I want to get to the fun part, which is colors. So, what I'm gonna take out of this directly is this background color. Just gonna plop it on in there. Whoops. Maybe not quite like that. Just gonna take this and plop. Then we're gonna take this green that's sort of everywhere. Stick it up there. Then I'm gonna take this, bring it up a little and go way more yellow. That's our highlight. And then for the low light sections, instead of this like, it's very like deep, like this deep purpley blue color. This is a very like cold thing, except for the yellow. And I'm gonna keep it that way. So this is a little too warm. I'm gonna go cooler. I'm gonna go lighter. Just more saturated on it. Not too much though. I want to keep it close to the same value. And then for that weird yellowy mid-tone on the cheek, I'm gonna go, again, very yellow, just slightly offset this, a little more saturation. And then this isn't quite bright enough for what I need it for, so I'm gonna bring that up and go more orange. So now's the fun part. Lighten this baby up. Pretty literally. Going in green. And normally when doing this, I would probably also, if I was going to make this like a finished thing, I would add more context as to like, why is the lighting green when it's blue everywhere else? Like, is there a portal? Is there like a, you know, like where is the light source? Like what is causing this to be like this? But again, since I'm just practicing junk that I haven't done in a while, I'm not going to really bother too much. Oh my god, his grip is scuffed on that sword. Yeah, I've been drawing either Skylight. That, yeah. Yeah, before this, I think the last thing I did might have been. Well, it was probably one of the Pokemon things that briefly appeared on screen, but I feel like I haven't drawn anything human-wise in a hot minute. It's just been creatures lately. Even traditionally, because I've been doing more traditional stuff in my sketchbooks lately. It's just been like little guys. So, a lot of this, you might be thinking, Gray, why are you, like, filling this whole thing up with green? Like, where's the shading? But, as you'll see in a second here, I'm going to put all of that on a clipping mask. Which means that none of this will go outside of the green area. So, do this clipping mask. Now I can take my darker blue and be like, boom! And it doesn't leave the space. I'm just gonna like kind of carve out some shapes, I guess. And just fill them up. The little things I did in Jay's Painter are the most I've done. the funny little guys. Yeah. I saw some of that and I was like, oh my god, that's glorious. So funny. So silly, those little guys. So, now, the light is coming from like a downwards pointing up angle. So, the highlights are going, it's like kind of down and off to the left. So the highlights are like here. So this mid-tone is going to be all across this section. And the majority of it is like right on the face. Like right around the chin area is where that main highlight is on the actual reference image. Like right on the lower part of the chin. So this would come up and around here. Maybe not quite that high on the forehead. Now I'm going to go in and just erase a little bit right here by the nose, under the eye, real close for this one. I think right above the eyebrow with that brow line. No, that looks awkward. Never mind. I feel like the boot would also catch some of that. This leg, just a little bit. And then the highlight would come in. Catch a little more of the underside of the cheek here, because I feel like this elf dude's got a little bit more cheekbone going on. The nose. Bit of the brow line here. Under the eyes. Or like above the eyes, under the brow line though. A little bit on the neck. A little bit up in here. Just like a spot or two on the arm. Boom. Wait. Oops. Hold on. Lighting. Oh, that's so gross because I still have stabilization on this thing. I don't want to switch it because I'll be too lazy to switch it back. Lighting. Boom. freaking beautiful, you know? Oh, and one other thing, I guess I could do this really quickly. Go to my airbrushing and go back to this here and just give a little bit of a back highlight. Bit of a more reflective quality. It's very subtle, but it just adds more depth. You know, depth. Just the tiniest little bit of backlighting. This was fun. It's been a while since I've done something like this. Like I said, a lot of my stuff has been boiling down to just like local color, where it's like one color and you kind of vary it up, but not a lot. Where it's like, oh, the lighting in this would be like midday. That's like all of my lighting. Or all of my lighting ends up being like yellow highlights, purple shadows, which is fine. Like, that's a completely fine way of doing things. But it gets kind of bland after a while. Like, even in my schoolwork, it's just like such a trend that you could see all of my stuff in the same sort of lighting style. Like, even here, it's all like, I don't know, it's so same-ish when I could be doing other things. Like, yes, it has a natural look, but like all of these characters are in the same environment, but like their color differences are not really all together harmonized. Because if you put something green under a blue light versus under a yellow light, the green is going to look different. I don't know. That's like I'm trying to get that point across, but I don't really know how to explain it good. And then with like my other stuff, it's just like so dependent on what I'm trying to do. A lot of my ghost stuff is all like, if you put it all together, it looks kind of the same. And I don't mean like visually, it's like all the same drawing, because like this image in this setting is very different from this image. But it's all kind of got the same vibe of like, I'm always using the, like this exact shade for like this guy's skin color, instead of varying it depending on where your location is. Like, that's usually a last step instead of a first step for me. I don't know if that makes sense at all, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That's a little embarrassing. But, yeah. I forgot what was even the point of me going on about that. I need water. I'm thirsty. I need to stay hydrated. Okay. Oops, not a file, a photo. I really like this photograph I snagged off Pinterest. I just feel terrible a little terrible every time I do something like this, though, because it makes me upset that, like, no artists are ever credited on Pinterest. Like, there's hardly ever credit to the actual artist unless it's the artist themselves putting stuff onto the site. Because half the time I'll see something really cool, like a really nice photograph or a really nice piece by an artist, and I'll be like, who is this artist? Because there's no credit given. And like 9 times out of 10, the actual poster is not the artist. So it's just like, bro, are you serious? I just want to know who made this lovely piece of work. Hold on. I'm going to approach this a little differently. Actually, this is hard to see without the... It's so... The other eye is so in shadow that I can't actually tell what's going on there. That's really hard to make out. Because it's so in shadow. It's hard too because also my eye style is shaped differently in this instance. So I think technically it would be more like that. And then the nose shape, like here's the eyebrows and the nose. I'm just marking this out for my own self. Big star. That is so shaky. Look at how shaky that line is. Oh my god. Awful. Sorry for going so quiet suddenly. I'm just... When I get super focused, I'm just, like, zoned in. You know? And then I forget that I'm doing anything else aside from drawing. I am gonna throw on music that probably no one on stream is gonna be able to hear because it's on the television, which is not actually turning on. There we go. Which is kind of far from where I'm sitting, so it's probably not gonna be that audible. Gonna throw on a good old playlist or a video essay or something. Actually, I'm gonna throw on this video essay I was watching. With the volume. With the volume down a little. I'm just gonna go back to doing what I usually do when I draw. We're gonna turn this into.
But let's say you harvested all the mushrooms you could find, and you did manage to fill up the choose to, each tier will give you a positive perk to choose from and a negative perk. Only in Darkwood would you willingly spend time harvesting XP just to directly downgrade your character. The first tier will give you the positive options of Eagle Eye, Moth, Navigator, and Mushroom Healing. Filling up the syringe a second time will let you pick a second perk from this tree before moving on to the next one, and also locking all the previous options out. Eagle Eye lets you see farther ahead.
Fun fact, if you could figure out who this is before I had hair. And no, it's not the Joker. You win.
Moth is an active ability, meaning you have to voluntarily activate it in the perk selection screen. All of the active perks can only be used once a day, while passive perks...
What do you win? I don't know. But you win.
Giving you an incredibly slow healing boost. It seems useless, but it's a great perk when you're low on health during the night and you don't have any healing items on hand. Navigator is a mostly useless perk. As mentioned in the prologue, if you're not at a key location in the game, you won't show up on the map. Navigator, when activated, will drop a part of your body onto the map, which can be used as a marker. But surprisingly, it can also be used as bait for some enemies. The reason why it's useless is because in each region, you're usually 20 or so seconds away from a location that's marked on your map, letting you know where you are. Now, you might find it a bit weird how the protagonist can drop infinite body parts and never seem to run out of them. But if you remember near the start of the game, he purposely wrote down in his journal that he doesn't feel the need to eat anymore and he's not thirsty anymore. Something has changed. And this explains why, in a gameplay and a lore sense, that you can be bit by dogs, hit with big sticks, or even shot with real bullets from a real gun, and you can heal with just bandages and pills over and over. Something has changed and you're really not human anymore. One thing that's interesting though, once you drop a body part onto the map and it's eaten by, let's say, a wild dog, killing the dog, you'll find...
Ziggy Stardust. No. That's really funny though. That's really funny. But nope. Not it.
Which gives you the ability to restore health by eating any mushroom that you harvest. Honestly, the most useful skill, because like I said earlier, you'll want to score any mushrooms you find in the cooker to convert it into essence to level up. You could argue that late game, once you're at your max level, you could use it as a cheap health source, but they heal worse than the basic bandages in the game. If this was the Cruelty Squad video, I'd be putting them in F tier. Now, anytime you pick a perk in a tier, you'll also be forced to pick a negative perk. And I do mean forced, because believe me, I tried to back out the menu after picking a good perk, and it straight up won't let you. Shadows is the only negative perk in tier 1, with a vague description saying, staying in dark areas at night can be dangerous to me. With picking this perk, you're now forced to make sure the generator is always stocked up, because now you just spawned in a new night event. When night falls, you're forced to retreat back into your hideout and wait until the morning. This is when night events kick in, and are arguably one of the reasons why Darkwood is so talked about. Nights last between 8 PM and 8 AM, but during this, the clock will advance at double its speed. Probably because if the clock advanced at the same speed it did during the day, that being 1 real-life second is a minute, no one would be able to get past the first night. There are 28 unique events that can occur each night, and these all depend on which hideout you're staying at, and this doesn't even include all the normal monsters that try to break in each night. A few are beneficial, but most will make surviving even harder. But as a reward, you'll get a shiny stone. These are items that are intrinsic to the lore of understanding the Darkwood, but for now, they're an incredibly rare item that you can't craft, but can be sold to certain individuals for a hefty amount. And again, I'll talk about that later. You can even find randomly appearing glowing mushrooms that, if you're brave enough, you can run outside to harvest for a unique glowing mushroom that gives you double the essence of a standard mushroom. Yes! You might even notice during the night that someone is watching you, usually dropping a flare in the process, but if you approach them, they'll quickly run away into the forest. They appear human at least, someone who's obviously lived in the forest for so long, and they've adapted to the night, unlike you, an outsider. Night events are also when the amazing audio of the game comes to life. Doors can randomly open, and your footsteps can slowly be mimicked, tricking you into thinking someone else is with you. Are the monsters in the room with us right now? A more obvious event might spawn a poltergeist in the room, an unkillable entity that you can't see, can't damage you, but will throw around prop objects like wardrobes and lights, purposely messing up your plans and placing objects to to block entryways or lights to see enemies from afar. There's also visual events that don't damage you but can confuse you during a fight, like how a large number of bugs might infest your hideout, or you might hear a faint heartbeat during the night. And when you investigate outside, you'll see how all the trees and grass are replaced with pulsating flesh, hinting that the forest is more alive than it seems. Earthquakes are also a common occurrence, with the shock waves kicking up dust, massively affecting visibility and even temporarily killing all the power to your hideout you spent precious gasoline to keep running. Remember that negative perk you were forced to pick earlier? Now, randomly at night, shadows will invade the hideout, killing all light sources except a single random lamp that you'll have to hug to avoid taking damage, drastically reducing your options for fighting back. It'll also instantly extinguish any torches you've crafted. I like how this is the first negative perk in the game, since that effectively baits every new player into picking it, forcing a trial by fire if you're lucky enough to get it early on, and basically teaching you that you should always try and stay near the light. Also, I found this out. Apparently, if you've never leveled up the entire game, and you never pick the Shadows perk, it'll still be applied later on in the game anyway. The protagonist will also make a note of the encounter in his journal, accompanied with a vague it was a rotten
Hello, Horizon.
shadowy silhouettes emerged.
I apologize for being so quiet, like I said earlier.
Tricks on me in the dark.
I get a little focused.
If they come back, I should keep close to the light. There's also a unique night event to this specific hideout. There's a bed in the hideout that can't be moved or searched, and on a random night, you'll see a man sat on the bed, wishing to go home and saying, "We need to move on." He'll sit there the entire night until dawn arrives, or if you hit him, which, if you do, will make him disappear, and you'll end up taking damage. Look, I promise, this entire game isn't all in their heads. Please, just stick with me here. If you somehow manage to survive the night, you'll notice how the hideout is covered in grey roots and growths wherever you're not looking, and you'll have a new buff called Time Freeze. This is one of the very few forgiving elements the devs have.
Yeah, I just get too, like, focused, and then I forget that I'm streaming a little bit. Oops.
But on top of that, there's someone here to greet you next to the cooker. He has a backpack and a hood, but interacting with him, you realize what he truly is.
Even from afar, I can smell your putrid stench. Be glad I don't have an appetite for carcasses, meat.
The figure hides its face under the hood. It smells of wet soil and fur.
I know what you're after. I can help you reclaim what you lost, if you help me attend to a certain matter. What do you say, comrade?
As he leans towards me, I hear him giggling under his hood.
I knew it would interest you. Before we make a deal, you need to prove that you can do the job. I've got no time for weaklings, meat. You follow? Show me what you're made of. Get through the silent forest. You think it's so easy? If I were you, I would prepare myself well before setting out. When you get there, you will find me in this spot. Remember it.
The wolf grabs my map and scribbles something on it.
The likes of you always crawl back to me.
This is the Wolfman, and to be fair, it does look like someone's furry self-insert into the game.
Is that your fucking persona? That's cringe.
But somehow completely makes sense as to why a literal furry would exist in Darkwood. He wears a long coat with a single bullet hole while carrying an assault rifle on his back, an incredibly rare weapon in the woods. It's obvious he knows that you've lost your key and he wants to help you get it back, but only if he gets something in return. You have two options here. Try to progress to the next area, the Silent Forest, and meet him at his camp to progress the story. Or, if you really, really hate furries, which I hope is most of you, you can go outside the hideout, go up to this locker that you don't know what the code is, as it was meant to be exclusively for early backers. The code is, by the way, take out the explosive barrel inside, single-shot pistol, place the barrel next to him, and then blow him up. To which he'll probably still kill you anyway, because he has insane health. But if you do manage to kill him, you're still allowed to progress the story as normal. You probably just have no idea where to go now.
What the heck is this?
If you don't want to kill him, that locker does still have some really good early items, like nails and boards and items to make a single inventory or hotbar upgrade. There's even a knife in there, which as a British man, I can always appreciate. If you hit the Wolfman out, which to be fair, he doesn't give you much of a choice not to, you'll be presented with three options, which many other characters you meet also share. To show him an item to trade or gossip. Gossip is usually just lore dumping, like a character giving context to the woods or talking about themselves. The Wolfman on the first encounter will only give you 3 pieces of incredibly basic advice.
I wouldn't recommend wandering around these woods at night. It would mean certain death for you, meat. Better hide out in that hideout of yours before dark and pray for morning light. If I were you, I wouldn't venture too far from here, unless you got bored of your lousy life, meat. Only a few returned from the dense woods, and those who made it back were not happy to share their stories. I'd avoid getting into trouble if I were you, meat, or at least until you get a decent weapon.
You can also show him some key items that you found. So far, most players will only have the road home photo they found in the hideout.
What's that you got there?
The wolf snatches the photograph from my hand and studies it carefully. Finally, he snorts, his thick yellow spit landing on the photo.
This road doesn't exist anymore, overgrown with trees, like all the other ones.
The wolf throws the photo to the ground.
Better forget about the road home, meat. Around here, all roads lead to nowhere.
And the plastic chick on the body of the man that attacked you in the prologue.
Beautiful item, perfect for a church fair.
On a rare occasion, during one of the nights, you might actually hear a knocking on the door. Answering the door, you'll see an invitation left for you on the floor, inviting you to a celebration and giving you a randomly generated code to get in. If you've already had this event happen, you can show this invitation to the Wolfman.
Oh, right, there are people here. Yeah, that's for yeah.
Laughter, his putrid saliva
Just,
landing on
yep.
the bed.
Oh, yeah, I'm streaming.
Edge of the dry meadow. The music there has been playing non-stop since I remember. Day and night. A never-ending wedding.
The wolf throws the invitation back at you and wet and spit.
Have fun, meat. Just remember to hide that disaster from face, or it's no dancing for you.
His last words are a clear indicator that the protagonist's disfigured face isn't just what he perceives, it's how others see it as well. There's also one more thing the Wolfman offers. As you might imagine, there are no Zabka stores in the forest, even despite their aggressive expansion, which I'm sure has no problem crossing the boundaries of time by now. So instead, if, like me, you need to buy 3 boxes of LaCroix, where's that in the script, you dickhead? I don't fucking buy LaCroix, you fucking dickhead. So instead, if you need to buy 3 boxes of sparkling water, you're gonna have to trade. Any real-world money is long useless in the forest. The only way to trade being something akin to basic bartering. Every trader has a reputation value, which works as the game's currency, with it going up if you do something they respect you for, like, for example, surviving a night, or just giving them something.
Alright, now.
It's basically just bartering, but with extra steps. Items you have vary in how valuable they are. Like
This is gonna be fun.
these shiny stones are useless to you, but valuable to traders. They also give you 100 reputation to start with, so it's a great way to access some of their inventory when you first meet them. Most items can be traded, but depending on who you're talking to, they might not be interested in certain items. Like how the Wolfman has no interest in wood and scrap metal. You can never go into negative reputation with a trader. If you make an offer which puts you in the red, they'll just flat out refuse the entire deal. You'll use them as a great way to stock up on items that you might not be able to easily find yourself. Like how the Wolfman will always sell a toolbox that you need to upgrade your hideouts with.
Me, a person? No, I'm just a silly little creature. Me too. I'm also a silly little creature.
Wolfman here to fetch a
I'm just a little blorb, you know?
used to buy a random gun component you probably won't even be able to craft with until about 10 hours later. Each trader will sell the exact same stock every single day, but every one of them has a unique variety of stock. Most of them you won't even be able to afford until after the first couple of nights. Reputation does stack though, so if you give away half your inventory to a trader, they'll still keep that reputation earned for when the next time you trade with them. But it's also important to keep in mind that all traders are incredibly stingy. Anything you buy from a trader is worth double what you actually get for selling it to them. One item that's always a must from traders early on is the watch. The icon looking like a Casio F91W, which was actually made in the late 80s. Having this anywhere in your inventory will show you the time of day at the top right of the screen, which is a lifesaver in planning your day ahead and not having to rely on the sun setting to let you know it's time to go back home. After talking to the Wolfman, the protagonist makes another entry into his journal, accompanied with a sketch of the Wolfman. My mind must be going
way that looks.
This man also has a camp set up here as well, and you can meet him there to trade.
If you wish to spend some more quality time basking in the striking yet natural beauty of my features before you head off to the Silent Forest, you will find me in my camp in the Dry Meadow.
The wolf points to a location on my map. The main creatures you'll face here are dogs. They'll roam around and are incredibly territorial. If you get too close to one, they'll bark at you to stay away. And if you don't heed their warning, much like any beloved Rottweiler, they'll charge you, biting into your flesh until you're dead. All while the owner will probably go on an incredibly long rant how their dog is a beautiful princess and wouldn't hurt a fly. Dogs are fairly easy to deal with because of their easily telegraphed single attack of lunging at you. And once you kill one, you'll always find a single piece of meat on its body. This can't be crafted into anything, and selling it to a trader, you get a measly 5 points of reputation. But it can be used to bait and distract any other dogs from attacking you, even mid-combat, as apparently they can't give up a free serving of Rottweiler and will instantly stop attacking you to take the bait. So yes, you technically can do a non-lethal dog run of the game. The only other enemy in Dry Meadow is the elk. These things are terrifying. They have a similar attack pattern of the dog, but instead of being territorial like the dogs, will instantly attack as soon as they spot you, charging straight towards you with a much larger width than the dogs. Thankfully, the game gives you the ability to quickly backstep for a small stamina cost, something Dark Souls would shamelessly steal 3 years earlier. You'll always want to bait an elk into attacking, as there's a brief window to swing at it before it attacks again. Getting too close to it before it attacks will make them swing their antlers around, doing massive damage. It only takes around 2 to 3 hits to kill you. Meanwhile, you'll probably go through 2 boards with nails to kill a single elk, with the reward of making the forest a little bit safer and harvesting its antlers. Which again can't be used for crafting, but can be sold to a trader with the same value as a shiny stone. But also, strangely enough, you can actually eat the antlers to give you the biggest health regen in the entire game. Although you should always sell it. You'll need the reputation to repair all the weapons that you broke killing it. There's also passive creatures in this part of the forest. Crows, which will fly away whenever you get near, usually feasting on a nearby corpse that you can loot. And rabbits, they always flee when you get near them. But you have to kill one, which is usually near impossible because you're such a fat bastard you run out of stamina before being able to catch up to them. Thankfully, rocks are abundant in Darkwood. They're worth absolutely nothing to a trader, actually taking them away for absolutely free. And as a weapon, you'll need to throw about 15,000 to kill a small dog. But because rabbits have 1 HP, if you throw one at a rabbit, you'll actually one-tap it. Finally, all those hours in the long
Still don't understand how this works. Like I know there's a way to get this like faded look. I just don't know how to do it. And also I completely messed this whole idea up. Like, ooh. I'm gonna get rid of this actually. I'm gonna try that again. So there's gotta be something that I'm missing.
You'll also see creatures that resemble humans. Sometimes you'll see them praying to a destroyed shrine, most likely Christian. Poland's current Christian population is 98.5% after all. These kinds of roadside shrines are actually very common in Poland, especially near small villages, where the locals are usually very religious. You can also find a couple of these creatures at specific markings in the Dry Meadows. They'll flee as soon as they see you, but the markings they left behind are incredibly strange. Lines and circles drawn with sticks.
I don't think it's screen.
You'll start to see visions. Firstly, the key that you lost to the doctor, but also a book
No.
with the same number printed on
I'm just gonna test stuff until it works.
a huge X. Going to the you'll see a clearly someone was trying to defend this.
Nope.
Like the hideout. Searching the wardrobe, you'll be able to find a pack of cigarettes, some gasoline, and matchsticks. I've already talked about the importance of
Nope.
gasoline, but it's a great combination with matchsticks.
Stronger. I crave petroleum.
Dragging the wardrobe out the way will be a trapdoor, which will take you to an old tunnel network. Thankfully, when you're anywhere interior in the dark,
Nope.
time will actually freeze until you're outside again.
Wait. wait, that was the wrong thing. I wanted to do softly.
This area is incredibly dark, so you need a light source unless you want to pump.
Nope. Okay, wait. There has to be. I know I've seen this before.
Watching you, and up ahead is a bizarre growth, almost like a gaping mouth pulsating. You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. The protagonist won't comment on this, but searching the growth, you'll find some more odd meat that you can cook. You can also find a motorcycle.
Maybe it's colored Dodge, but that doesn't seem right either.
A 1975 issue of Chesterpismo Motor, a real Polish motor magazine with a Fiat 126 on the cover. Eventually, you can reach the bunker door, heavily rusted and covered with growths and vines. Locked. It's my only way.
Alright, I'm just gonna do add.
Without my key. You're then given the option to look at the handle. The hatch handle is covered in a thick layer.
I'm also gonna see if I can do this with this.
Next, you can press your ear against the keyhole. I hear a faint voice throughout the howling wind.
No.
It seems to be coming through the keyhole. Someone is calling me. Finally, you can look through the keyhole.
Maybe.
The art changes to show the keyhole with a faint light emanating from the other side. The protagonist doesn't comment on this. You now know where you can escape the woods, but first you need the key that the doctor stole from you. Trying to leave the tunnels the way you came, the power will go out with a sudden cave-in. You can still get out, but now there's something chasing you. You can try to fight it, but with how the tunnels are, it's basically a death sentence, as most of combat is relying on sidestepping enemies and attacking them once they're cooling down. Despite that, I'm such a greaser, I somehow managed to do it first try.
Yeah. I just completely dropped my iPad, basically, out of its case. We're doing great, guys.
The armored door in the underground passage is closed. It hasn't been opened in around 2 weeks. The thief who took my key apparently doesn't know how to find the passage. Good. I, on the other hand, have no idea where to find the thief. Not so good. Exploring more of the dry meadow before meeting the Wolfman in the next biome, you can find various locations, like a former hideout that's been totally consumed by the forest, with only small parts of it now accessible. There's a generator here with barely any fuel left, but turning it on, you can see the corpses infused with the tree, writhing in pain before the power dies out. As unforgiving as the forest is, at least you escape this. But when you go to leave, the game will spawn a dog to attack you. Again, darkwood mode. Going towards one of the choke points in the map, you can see a burned house, though you're unable to open the door because it's made of metal. Wooden doors can be destroyed with enough force, but metal doors are usually implemented to stop the player from progressing too early until they have the right key, code, or open it from the other side as a shortcut. But what's interesting is you hear shouting from the other side of the door, an evacuation order.
Out! The truck is here! Oh, please. Get the fuck out!
Maybe you're not completely alone here, and there's still some kind of military presence trying to establish order here. Exploring further, you can find broken tractors heavily overgrown with valuable loot like scrap metal, gasoline, and a battery. It's not used in crafting, and it can't be sold to traders, but you might want to keep hold of something uncommon in the forest. You can find collapsed trees. These can't be harvested for wood, but strangely enough, have bite marks all over them, with the corpse of one of the humanoid creatures underneath it, almost like it was eating it before it collapsed. You can also find crop fields which act as mini mazes to navigate through, usually only having a couple of ways in or out, but your reward for reaching the center is usually worth it, with an untouched crate having great early game loot, like a lantern that you probably can't craft yet. Just don't do what I did and get stuck in one when the sun is setting. On the lantern is a great early game way to have a reliable light source. You can only explore during the day, but you'll quickly notice with how numerous the trees are, the forest is incredibly dark, increased by the...
I actually kind of hate this. Ah.
A few feet in front of you. As long as you have the lantern in your hotbar, it'll emit a glow all around you, giving you a bit more visibility. And unlike other light sources, lets you use another weapon without losing the light source, just as long as it's always kept in your hotbar. It'll last around 20 minutes real time, which is pretty long compared to other light sources. If you explore enough, you might even stumble onto the Wolfman's camp in the dry meadow that I mentioned earlier. You mark his location of the other camp on your map, but you can meet him here and trade in the day in case you want to drop off any loot, with a dark, lingering theme kicking in whenever you approach him. Now, let's say you did a run of Darkwood and you met the Wolfman at his camp before the first night arrived. You'd go through the exact same dialogue and nothing would change, except when you went through the first night again, in the morning you wouldn't be greeted by the Wolfman, but instead the man who saved trader. A man roughly my size is standing before me. I can barely make out his disturbingly familiar features through the matte visor of his helmet. The massive helmet is covered with an old sack and seems to be an integral part of the unnaturally pale body. I remember him. He's the one who rescued me from the doctor's house. The man reaches out to me with his black hand. It's covered in charcoal. There's something written on his worn woolen glove. We need to stick together, brother. His lips are moving, but all sounds are drowned inside the helmet. He shrugs, then takes the huge sack off his back and drops it on the ground, revealing its contents. Only knows the trader, he's one of the most important characters of the story, despite the fact that he never says a single word to the protagonist apart from the scribblings on his arm. You can tell by his introduction text he's much more selfless intentions than the Wolfman. His mask makes anything he says to be inaudible, but compromised with writing messages on his arm with charcoal. You can't gossip with the trader, but you can show him one specific item, the picture of the road home. He wipes his left glove on his pants, takes out the charcoal from his pocket and starts scribbling. When he finishes, he lifts his dirty hand. All roads lead deeper into the woods, clearly warning you of what's next to come, that you'll have to crawl through hell to escape the woods. This is someone with experience, someone who's survived here for a while. As kind as the trader seems, he's not running a charity. You'll still need to give him items to earn reputation to gain access to his stock, most likely so he himself can survive the woods at night. The trader will greet you every single morning after you met the Wolfman, either by surviving the first night or by finding the Wolfman first before the first night comes, with the added bonus of earning 100 reputation from him for every night you successfully survive, even giving you unique dialogue for doing so. As I approach him, the man drops a sack from his hand to the floor with a visible relief. I notice a smile on his face through the matte visor of his helmet. The man nods in greeting. Keep in mind, the Wolfman never gives you reputation for surviving the night. However, if you die during the night and spawn at the next day, you won't earn any reputation from him and get a different greeting. The man takes a step in my direction and pats me on the shoulder.
He's obviously someone that cares deeply about your safety, but unfortunately, by giving free handouts, you're not going to learn how to survive the forest. If you're both planning to survive the forest, the first thing you need to learn is selflessness won't get anyone anywhere.
Much like the Wolfman, the trader's inventory will be restocked with the same items every day. He has a much larger inventory than the Wolfman, but he's lacking crucial items like the toolbox needed to upgrade your workbench. He can sell you various items that are great for surviving each excursion into the woods, like for example, a flashlight.
I've mentioned how great the lantern is as a light source, but the flashlight for me is a personal favorite.
It's pretty expensive at 200 rep, but after the watch, it's a must. It'll shine a bright cone wherever the protagonist is looking, which can help with dimly lit areas, but also has the hidden bonus of revealing more shiny stones that you can find in the world. Most of these you'll actually walk over and not even notice, but the refracted light of the flashlight will give it a unique glint, so you can pick them up and get even more reputation. The main downside is they run out of energy very quickly and have to be filled with 9-volt batteries, which can be bought from either the Wolfman or the trader, or you can find them in the world on random corpses. The thing is, 9 volts can be pretty expensive and pretty rare to find. I say this as I'm sitting on 29 volts while recording this. Another downside is you can't use weapons when holding the flashlight, meaning it leaves you open to attack if you don't have a secondary light source on you. The trader will also sell you basic items like nails, boards, gasoline, but you're like 30 minutes into the video, you know how all that works by now. He'll also sell you more advanced but very expensive consumables like the pills. Pills here! One will increase your endurance so you can quickly explore before the stamina drain kicks in. Now, to be fair, this is pretty useless for how expensive it is, and also, don't tell anyone that I told you this, but if you run on the beaten paths around the dry meadow, it'll actually half your stamina drain. And these paths will usually lead you to major points of interest like other houses and key locations. But
I think we're cooking. We might be cooking.
The problem is, it's not a single shot pistol, but a single use pistol. You might be tricked into thinking that you can buy bullets from the trader, and this is the ammo to reload the pistol, but nope, it's stupid. Once you fire it, it'll break and can't be repaired. This is a last resort weapon that you should only use when you're facing an enemy that you know is going to kill you at close range. Also, when taking aim, like all firearms, it actually takes a few seconds for the protagonist to adjust his sights to narrow the cone of vision, which in turn will narrow your vision of anything coming at your peripherals. But let's say you somehow got another toolbox, another one, and now your workbench is level 4. You can make the shovel, homemade shotgun, and pistol, and this is where the game really changes.
The shovel is a direct upgrade from the sandwich nails and is a must. It has more durability, does more damage, and has a lot more reach. How did you do it again? It's like, this is a bit.
And yes, this is yet another game where the shovel becomes your main combat workhorse. No game dev can resist the sweet pull of the shovel. The problem is, it's incredibly hard to get in the early game without being a sweat. The shovel blade can be bought from traders for 450 reputation, which, to say the least, is very expensive. It's actually the highest price on any base trader item in the entire game. Other crazy important items like fabric used for inventory upgrades also cost this amount, meaning you have to actively make a choice between getting an important upgrade or a new weapon versus selling it to buy stuff that you really need in the moment. To make the shovel, you also need tape. Now, good luck finding that because it is incredibly rare loot, but the traders do sell it for about 40 rep. Now my bank account hurts. But the hardest item to get hold of at the minute is the staff to put the shovel together. You usually won't find this until the next biome where enemies start to attack you with sticks, the same guys in the dry meadow that would always run away from you. Now, remember how I said how useless the single shot pistol is? It is. But if you're able to get hold of one, find someone with a large stick in the meadows and creep up on them, and then one-tap them with the pistol, you can now get hold of their staff.
Excellent work, 47.
Once you make the shovel, it is absolutely game-breaking in early stages, as you'll be able to two-tap or even one-tap early enemies. It functions the same as the board with nails, having 2 attacks, a charge and a jab, but the charge swing has a much larger radius than the board with nails. Enemies range to hit them with it, and because the workbench is level 4, you're able to give it 2 upgrades out of the possible 4, either less stamina consumption, more damage, more durability, or much more durability. The latter costing a whole new shovel head to upgrade, but it's totally worth it. My pick is to save for another shovel head to get that 70% more durability as opposed to 30% with just the metal pipe, and to also pick more damage, which will sharpen the head of the shovel with stones to give it more of an edge. Finally, stones do have a use apart from throwing them at rabbits. Also, the durability upgrades do stack, so if you value saving resources on fixing rather than damage, that's always an option. There's also another early game secret, which I'm only telling you about. Remember that bunker early on that we needed the key for? If you enter the bunker for the very first time with the shovel before the cave-in, you can dig a certain spot that gets blocked off after the chase sequence. It'll waste the shovel's durability, but it will reveal a corpse holding some amazing loot, like a long barrel and a tubular magazine. Take that, trader. I'll keep my reputation, thank you very much. The only problem is, with a much more advanced melee weapon, you'll need much more advanced resources to maintain it. You'll still need wooden planks, like maintaining the board with nails, but now the nails have been replaced with scrap metal, which can only be found by trading your own reputation.
Baba Booey.
Farming a finite amount of bear traps in the world. Even with the massively upgraded durability, you'll always have to keep a high stock of scrap metal to be able to repair it. Next on the workbench is the homemade shotgun and pistol. The homemade shotgun is the cheaper alternative, not requiring advanced weapon parts, but just 4 scrap metal and 2 metal pipes. That being said, the pipes are still incredibly rare loot and expensive, like I said earlier. But if you manage to make one, you'll have the first firearm that is useless after firing a shot. For fuck's sake. But don't worry, guys. The devs were actually lying here. The homemade shotgun can actually fire a whole 2 shots before turning into dust in your hands. Does that make it worth it? No. It'll definitely kill anything chasing you, and if you panic and miss a shot, you can rely on the second barrel to finish the job. But even then, it's always better to save your ammo for better shotguns later, and scrap metal to repair the shovel and pipes to upgrade it, because you can't upgrade firearms in this game, only melee weapons. The final unlock on this tier of workbench is the pistol. Now this isn't easy to make. Even if you use the shovel exploit to get some expensive weapon parts for free, you'll still need that handgun frame, which is pretty expensive. Wrap it all up together with some duct tape, and finally you have the first firearm in the game that won't actually break after being barely used. And in typical Darkwood fashion, the fully crafted pistol is actually worth less than the individual parts to make it. I hate this game. Thankfully, the good news, the pistol never breaks. Its durability being the doctor used in the prologue. This would seem like the best thing to do, but is a giant scam. Because you actually won't be able to make the axe of the workbench until much, much later into the game. And I do mean much later. So hold off on buying it for now. You might remember earlier I mentioned how you can get a letter delivered to you as an invitation to a celebration. You can reach the location where it takes place anytime, but the door will always be locked with a code that's randomly generated on the letter. This is totally optional and it isn't needed to progress the story. You can completely ignore it, but the side content is some of the best of what Darkwood has to offer. After accepting the invitation and going inside, you'll see a lone woman in a bride outfit dancing. One of the first passive humans we've seen apart from the trader and the wolfman. There's no way to talk to her though, so I interacted with a woman the only way I know how.
Alright, I'll be honest, you're kind of pissing me off me dancing a little bit. Oh, okay, that's kind of funny.
Going inside, you can see what's left of a wedding, with candles on tables, and another bride quickly running away from you. Probably unrelated to what I did 5 seconds ago. After vaulting over a front window, you can get to the main room, barely lit with flickering
There we
lights.
go.
You can hear a banging noise. Investigating, you can see a man slamming his head repeatedly on the table. Weave. Ian. Waiting for you. Behind the man is an open door with more brides dancing around you, asking to dance with them. You can choose to kill or ignore them. It doesn't change anything, because when you return into the main room, the man is gone and you can see a lamp quickly move, letting you know that there's someone behind the door.
Oh god, the dang stabilization.
Once you take damage, unless you know how to quickly counter or run away, panic sets in with purposely violent screen shakes and red filters until you're pretty much dead anyway.
By the body blocked by the fucking lamp, by the way. By the lamp. Prop blocked.
That's why the opening text on the loading screen tells you to be patient. Like the trader said when he's shown him the road home, all roads lead deeper into the woods. But you're allowed to spend as
Ow.
much as you want in this way.
There we go.
You might even notice
There he is.
before staying here so long. Like how a creature you've never seen before will spawn near the hideout at night, but when you go up to it, it'll scream and
Like, yeah, it's a little less invasive.
This can be cooked in the oven for essence, but more importantly, in the game's files, it's called pistol, which is Polish for chick. If you manage to fill up the needle,
There we go.
you'll have one of the first.
Alright, I'm pausing video essay so that I can export. Bonk. Glorious. Now, for my next trick. I amuse myself. Anyway. gonna go now. Not because I necessarily have to, but basically because if I keep this up, I feel like I'm gonna... You know what, actually? We're gonna try something else. You know what? Tune in for gaming in the next stream. Boom. There. Yeah. So, drawing's done. How's my battery? It's decent on the iPad, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop here with the drawing, but I'll start another stream and we'll do some gaming on Roblox. We'll try some spooky games or something, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye-bye. How do I end this? Oh my god, Streamlabs. Gah. Okay, bye-bye. Bro, it literally won't let me end the stream. Okay. Just gonna close out of the app entirely. There we go.